Shorts. Hello, friends. I thought I would pop in with a little comic relief this month and for the next, probably until the autumn time, the autumn festival of Mabon. We'll be working with my book, Mabon Murder, and I was just proofing some chapters as I was putting them in the manuscript, and this one stood out to me as being kind of fun with the familiars, and familiars have been coming up, so like witches familiars have been coming up. So I thought I would just read this chapter just to give you a little bit of a laugh and a little bit of a look into what goes on with those familiars, maybe when we're not around. So this is chapter 3 of Mabon Murder, Roller Coaster. When Abigail returned to the town square, Dakar was already waiting for him. She hugged him tightly and looked into his eyes, wondering what all the fuss was about. "Something isn't right around here," he said, gesturing towards the water fountain that had been causing so much commotion in the last few days. "Polly says there's been 5 people taken ill to the hospital over in Lancashire just today, but it's not a physical illness. It's more of a mental anxiety, causing them to get ill from fright," he said, taking her hand. "And just look at the water," he said, pumping the fountain handle. The water was an eerie shade of crimson brown. The town magistrate had placed a sign on the fountain, and it was in the process of being turned off by the local authorities. "Who would do such a thing?" Abigail said, perplexed about anyone who wanted to hurt another person for fun. "Well, we've been called into HQ," Dakar said. High Court wants the best of us on this case," he said, taking a small sample of the water in a jar as the town magistrate and his assistant put a lock on the fountain. "We better meet High Court now," he said, gesturing towards the parking spot where High Court's black sedan waited. "But I've got the autumn festival tomorrow," Abigail said, thinking about her secret casserole that even she didn't know how it would turn out. "We'll be back in time for that," Dakar said, helping her in the back of the stretch limo. "Duty calls, and I think..." Duty calls. I have to do it in a man's voice. "Duty calls. And I think our culprits may be making an appearance at your festival, so we need to be prepared." Meanwhile, at Posh Pets, which is the vet's office, Scratchy, who is Polly's familiar, had his eyes on Poodles. The young teacup poodle flounced around the back area of the clinic and made it a point to stare right into Scratchy's cage. "That's that," the tabby thought, as he clicked open the cage door with his mind and slinked out of the cage. The vet had been pumping him with hair balm medication, and he coughed out a huge ball of tabby-colored fur. He felt much better and was even able to slightly levitate himself to see the front of the clinic where young Poodles appeared to be helping Clark Witherspoon load something in a tote bag. There, Clark said to Poodles, patting her lightly and putting something in a small locket around her collar. "All this will be over soon," he said, loading the tote bag with what appeared to be jars of a white substance. Scratchy was suspicious, and he tugged himself out of sight so as to hide away, waiting for Clark and Poodles to leave on his walk so he could investigate further. There was something going on in town causing folks to go on a roller coaster ride of emotions, and it had more to do than with tainted drinking water. The last thing Scratchy saw before tucking back into his cage was an old magazine clipping. There was a small child holding a teacup poodle. The poodle looked vaguely like Poodles, Scratchy thought. The magazine article called out to Scratchy from beyond the beyond. Young Clark Witherspoon is the first to clone his beloved pet Poodles. The hair stood up on Scratchy's neck as he was sure he was on to something here. Maybe short and maybe sweet, but the shorts are really always a treat.